What separates a great anime from just a regular good anime? A really amazing arc. For me, in order for an anime to hit my top 10 anime, or for me to rate it really high, it needs to come with a great arc. I watched over 70 anime, which seems like a lot, but still not that much. I still need to watch a bunch of classics. There's a lot of new anime coming out, but I think I'm qualified to give my top 10 favorite arcs or best arcs. This list is going to be hard to rank because these are my favorites. These are peak. It's hard to rate peak to peak. It's hard to compare. This video is going to contain spoilers because typically great arcs are in the middle to late stages in the anime. So let's get it. And if you support the channel, thanks for watching. Just like, comment, subscribe, and let's get to the video. I'm going to give 2 honorable mentions. I just couldn't bring it down to 10. I just watched so many animes. I love so many arcs. But the first honorable mention is going to be York New City from Hunter x Hunter. This one always gets overshadowed by another arc. But honestly, I think it's just as great, if anything. I believe this one's after the Heaven's Arena arc, which is a really good arc, by the way. So Gon, Killua, and Leorio, they go to York New City, which is a take on New York City in real life. I really want to go. I'm trying to plan a trip next year. We'll see. Their goal is to earn enough money for Greed Island, which is, I believe, a video game from what I remember that his father, Jing, created. Also another great arc. But also, in parallel to them going to York New City, Kurapika is on his own journey. He wants to, oh, by the way, Hunter x Hunter T from the homie right here. Check it out. But basically, Kurapika wants to get his revenge on the fandom troop. One of my favorite groups in anime history. This group is the one that massacred the Kurta clan, which is Kurapika's clan. And then they stole all the Scarlet Eyes, which is the power that Kurapika has, right? The Phantom Troop infiltrate York New City during an auction, and they steal all the valuable treasure. The Mafia hire assassins and bodyguards, which also include Kurapika. Kurapika gains a new power. The power is called Change-Up, which is crazy. One of my favorite abilities in this anime. But it could basically immobilize any spider or phantom troop. This is a restriction, so it's very powerful. It only works on the phantom troop. Anyways, the Shadow Beast, which was really hyped up, by the way, they got packed up by Uvogin 1v like 3, I think, or 4, and that was a crazy fight, honestly. And then Kurapika defeats Uvogin. This is the first act of revenge, his little get back. Overall, a quick summary is that they capture Chrollo, a Nen curse is placed upon him, and the arc ends with Gon and Killua not getting their hands on Greed Island. Kurapika saves his friends, gets his revenge on Uvogin, and he also removes Chrollo's Nen ability. The Phantom Troop leaves York New. Gon and Killua search another way to obtain Greed Island. So overall, it's a really great arc. It also includes Chrollo versus the Zoldyck assassins. He was even trying. Crazy ass fight. And there's plenty of other crazy moments. Overall, a really great start to this list. I know I was yapping, but really good arc. I'd give it like a 9 out of 10, to be honest. So first honorable mention. Okay, the last honorable mention is gonna be the Chapter Black saga from Yu Yu Hakusho. This one also gets overshadowed by another arc in this anime. Will I talk about it? Maybe. But I also might do a video on Yu Yu Hakusho as well, so wait on that. I love Yu Yu Hakusho. Well, basically, the story is the old spirit detective Shinobu Sensui goes rogue, comes back after a decade or so, plotting to open the gate between the human and the demon world. The crazy reveal is the videotape called the Chapter Black, the Black Chapter, or Chapter Black, or something like that. Includes humans' worst atrocities like war crimes, torture, genocide, just real life stuff, you know, like it just shows that humanity is really fucked up, and he's the one defending these humans against the demons, but they act the same. Years earlier from this, he witnessed humans torturing, doing experiments on demons, and this kind of like messed up his ideology and belief that humans are good and demons are bad. Now it's like, what is going on? Like, they're both evil. That's the broad sense of the arc, but I'm gonna make it more in-depth arc like I said. But Sensui is one of my favorite antagonists ever. I like his aesthetic, I like his abilities. He seems strong. Him and Yusuke's final fight is amazing. Yusuke even gets defeated, awakens his demon powers, which is sick. And there is also another plot twist at the end. I low-key don't want to spoil it, but it's a tearjerker. But this arc contains really complex ideals, complex themes, adult themes, and it's just like, it kind of just shows reality. Like, you know, demons have these bad connotation, but humans are just the same. There's a lot of evil people out there, and I think this just really resonates with real life. It's just really deep and layered. So this is one of my favorite arcs personally. I give this like a 9.5. It's damn near perfect personally, but the only thing that prevents me from giving it a 10 out of 10 is that there's an arc in this show that's way better, but I still think it deserves its flowers. I still think it's damn near a 10 out of 10, honestly, and not everything could be a 10 out of 10, right? Now we're starting the list, top 10 list. Let's get it. Number 10 is the mini arc, the final arc, I believe, in Diamonds Unbreakable, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. The arc is called Another One Bites the Dust. JoJo's is my favorite anime, and I believe this is my first 10 out of 10 part, Diamonds Unbreakable. This is where Kira unlocks his final hidden power. Killer Queen bites the dust. The time loop ability is intriguing to me, and it repeats until Kira's identity stays hidden. Like, that's insane. The heroes from this part, Josuke and them, try to figure it out. They try to break the loop, but they cannot learn his identity or they die. They end up like finding a loophole and figuring it out. Then the time loop for Bites the Dust ends, and now Kira's exposed, and then the final battles happen. I want to include the final battle in this, but the final stretch of this part is one of my favorites. All the build-up is worth it. In terms of JoJo itself, there's a lot of great stretches, like the Dio fight, the end in Golden Wind, the end in Stone Ocean. I think you could choose anything from JoJo's to put in the top 10, but personally, Kira's hidden power and the end of Stone Ocean are kind of comparable, kind of like even in peak to me, but I ended up choosing this part. So 10 out of 10 arc. It's a mini arc, maybe 5 to 10 episodes. I forgot how many, but really good part. Let's get it. Number 9, the Sasuke retrieval arc. I believe it's called that. From the original Naruto. It's the finale, basically. All the build-up from the Chunin exams, search for Tsunade. So Sasuke becomes obsessed with power. He wants to basically be strong enough to kill Itachi. And him seeing Naruto get stronger showed that the leaf potentially doesn't have the help for him to get stronger. So he hits up Orochimaru, and the Sound Four helps escort Sasuke out of the village. This is the start of Sasuke's arc towards, I want to say, darkness, towards evil. You know what I mean? I don't think he's actually evil. He's just, going through it, and he really wants to be strong in order to accomplish his goals, no matter what it takes. That's what his goal is. Shikamaru, my GOAT, assembles a squad. Naruto, Neji, Choji, and Kiba, the GOAT. Fang over Fang GOAT. Spamming that. In this arc, you get a bunch of crazy fights. They're chasing the Sound Four. They're chasing Sasuke. And I believe Gaara and them pulled up, like Tamari, Kankuro. I'm rewatching Naruto right now. I'm in the Chunin exams. I just hit Rock Lee versus Gaara, so that is coming up too. Gonna do a review, a revisit. I'm gonna add to the revisited series. The Chunin exams coming up. The climax for this arc ends up being Naruto versus Sasuke. One of the best fights, by the way. One of the best fights in the OG Naruto. The fight's very emotional, physical. Naruto is trying to fight to save his friend. Sasuke is fighting to sever his connections and to get stronger. And in the end, Sasuke ends up leaving. He wins. He joins Orochimaru, and Naruto's sad. He feels defeated. And this arc specifically is the driving force for Shippuden. So one of the best arcs. I want to give this a 10 out of 10. It's one of my favorite arcs personally. I just love Naruto, so that is a 10 out of 10. Number 8, we got Ruinheim. I don't know if I pronounced that right. From Monster. Banger of an anime. This is the climax and the final arc of Monster. And honestly, this is one of the greatest peaks of anime of all time. After years of pursuing Johann, who is the main villain, he's been chasing him through Germany, all throughout Europe. Dr. Tenma uncovers his plan, and this road leads to Ruinheim. There's a lot of reveals. Nina and Johann, Kinderheim, you know what I mean? This is where all the stories connect. Everything's revealed, and it shows why Johann is a villain. He has an identity crisis with this Kinderheim stuff. It comes from childhood trauma, manipulation, which finally shows a monster is created, not born. Dr. Tenma always questions, should I have saved the other person? Why did I save this monster? Even though he was right, like it doesn't matter if it was a kid or the mayor, he's saving whoever was there first, which was the kid. There's so many thoughts about morality in this, and I think the story, the questions are beautiful, and this is where everything aligns. Johann manipulates all the people to turn on each other. He sparks chaos throughout the town, and everyone starts killing each other. After the climax of this arc, Johann puts him in a position where a drunk man is pressured into shooting a kid, and then Johann ends up getting shot. And again, Dr. Tenma is posed with the same question. And this question has been throughout the whole series. Save lives no matter what, or kill Johann and prevent future deaths. And instead of letting Johann die and finally fulfilling everything that he's been chasing him for all these years, he's finally here and he still ends up saving him. This reaffirms Dr. Tenma's philosophy. Every life has value. I personally think it's a little iffy that he saved him again, but I can see why. It's all the character development and everything he learned. And after Johann recovers, he's gone. And there lies the question, did Dr. Tenma do the right thing? The mystery still is unsolved. What a great ending to one of the best anime, one of the best manga of all time, Monster. Number 7, Marineford, One Piece. Honestly, I'm the hugest pre-time skip One Piece fan. I like the aesthetic of pre-time skip. I like the jokes, the art. You know, everyone's a big fan of the new animation, the crazy fights in the future arcs, but pre-time skip is my favorite. The final war, per se, for One Piece pre-time skip. After the events of Impel Down, Luffy tries to save his brother, one of the best characters, one of the most popular characters in One Piece. Edward Newgate, aka Whitebeard, also one of my favorite characters, show up to the site of war with the 7 warlords and the Marines. After all this crazy fighting, all this crazy drama, Luffy approaches the execution platform where Ace is at. Ace is freed and victory is nearing, but boom, R.I.P. my goat, turned into a donut. Ace dies protecting his brother. Whitebeard unleashes the final frenzy, 1v100 everyone, still putting up a good fight. This is some Avengers level fighting right here. And then RIP the second GOAT, Whitebeard. And Blackbeard even shows up and steals his devil fruit, and then he becomes the first to have 2 devil fruits. Crazy. Shanks shows up and ends the war. He got too much aura, bro. This leads to the time skip and Luffy crashing out. But I think this is One Piece's greatest arc so far, even to this day. I just love the feel of old One Piece. Felt like Avengers. It felt like everything was built up to this. So 10 out of 10 arc again. Number 6, we got The Promised Day. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. One of my favorite animes, probably top 3. I'm rewatching it right now with my girl. Fire. I'm almost to The Promised Day, but it's a top 10 arc for me all time. Another climactic finale for one of the greatest animes of all time. It brings everything together, all the major characters, all the plot threads align, and all the payoffs happen. The Elric brothers learn the true objective of Father. He wants to use the whole country, the entire country, as a transmutation circle to sacrifice millions of innocent lives in order to gain a godlike power. All the goats, Roy Mustang, Scar, and even Ling join forces and work together to stop Father. This arc feels like a war arc, just like Marineford. Multiple battles occurring at the same time. Greed versus Wrath, King Bradley storms, slashing tanks. That's one of my favorite sequences, personally. King Bradley him. But and you got Mustang versus Envy, one of the best peaks ever. Scar versus Wrath, bro. Like, tell me, bro. Like all this payoffs, dude, happening all in one arc. And then you get the final climax, everyone versus Father. Father ends up activating the transmutation circle, becomes almost godlike. He becomes unstoppable. Alphonse sacrifices himself so Edward could continue the battle. And then at the end, Edward sacrifices his ability to perform alchemy for Alphonse. Bruh, emotional, bruh. Emotional, damn it. One of the best endings ever to one of the GOAT animes ever. Like, bro. What can top this? Why is this number 6? Why? Because there's so much peak out there, bro. And then Edward lives on, live a normal life with his girl, Winry, little baddie. And then Scar ends up helping rebuild Ishval. There's lots of hope in life. One of the most satisfying endings ever. One of the best finales ever. Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. The Promised Day. All right. Number 5. I'm gonna cheat a little bit here, but I got the 2 finales for Code Geass. The Black Rebellion and the Zero Requiem ARCS. All right, let me get comfy. So I could yap a little bit, but it's pretty rare for a show or even an anime to have a perfect ending. It's rare, man. But this anime, Code Geass, has 2 almost perfect endings. The first season finale arc is called the Black Rebellion arc. This one contains Lelouch's first uprising at Zero, where the Black Knights declare war on Britannia with the goal of toppling the Empire. This leads to a huge all-out war. Civilians get killed, both sides are getting killed, and Lelouch's identity slowly gets revealed. Mistakes keep piling up, and sorry to my GOAT Lelouch, but the rebellion ends up failing. Lelouch ends up getting betrayed, and his identity gets exposed at Zero. Suzaku and others and everyone find out his identity, capture him. This is the first major defeat for Lelouch, and this shows that the government power is just too strong. One of the best endings ever, but it got beat out by its own anime. Season 2, Part 2, the finale was perfect. The Zero Requiem arc to this day is one of my favorites. This one far exceeded my expectations. Lelouch ends up being emperor and conquers the whole world, becoming a tyrant, becoming the villain, and everyone starts to hate him. This is part of the plan. So Suzaku replaces Zero, and Lelouch is the villain. So Suzaku is in the persona of Zero and kills Lelouch in front of the whole world, which completes their plan. And Suzaku proceeds life as Zero, while the circle of hatred is temporarily broken. This self-sacrifice is the pinnacle of anime and one of the greatest moments. And to me is one of the greatest peaks in anime. I damn near cried, but Code Geass for you, bro. Some people think it's overrated, but I think Code Geass him, bro. Code Geass him. Number 4, Return to Shiganshina. I don't know if I'm saying that, but Attack on Titan. Honestly, AOT is one of the greatest animes of all time. And people say it's overhyped, but I think it's well-deserved. The final arc, this arc, 10 out of 10s, bro. Like, it was hard. It was hard to choose between the final arc, but I had to go with this one. I think it's more important, and I think this is the start of when Attack on Titan becomes one of the greatest animes ever. It's humanity's last battle to overtake Wall Maria and uncover the truth of the Titan. They attempt to seal the wall with Eren's ability, and then they had the goal of reaching Eren's basement to uncover the truth. All this build-up from the beginning. There's peak moments in this arc, like Zeke throwing the boulders in his Beast Titan form. Levi versus the Beast Titan is the best moment in Attack on Titan, in my opinion. The march from Erwin, his speech, one of the GOAT. Choosing between Armin and Erwin, and Levi choosing Armin to take the Titan Serum. Personally, I wanted Erwin, but they went in the right direction. And the legend, Erwin, died peacefully or I don't know about peacefully, but he got his wish. He died on the battlefield, and pain's gone. This is the final hurrah for him. They finally reach Eren's basement. They discover Grisha's journal. It reveals humanity beyond the walls is real, and it's alive and well advanced. This is a twist that shows a bigger world out there and redefines what the characters thought about the world. This changes the mindset. The Eldians inside the walls were isolated by choice, and they didn't even know there's more out there. This is the beginning of peak, and honestly, this is part of peak as well. This is a 10 out of 10 arc for me. All these moments, all these things build up, and it just gets better from here. But I personally like this arc better than the final arc. But both 10 out of 10s, but I chose this one. Yeah, greatness. Number 3, the Dark Tournament arc, Yu Yu Hakusho. Told you, it might be in this list, I told you. But in my opinion, the most iconic, the best tournament arc ever. Yusuke the GOAT is invited to a dark tournament, and each main character get their own specific battles. They learn from it, they grow from it. They get their own major spotlight. Yusuke establishes his growth. Kurama uses sacrifice and strategy. Hiei just becomes a badass, shows his strength, shows his speed, and it just shows that he's him. Hiei is one of my favorites. He's crazy. And Kurabara improves. He becomes the heart of the team, the emotional guy, not just a jokester, not the button of the joke all the time. He becomes the heart of the team in this arc. I love it. He unlocks one of the coolest abilities, Dragon of the Darkness Flame, one of my favorite parts in this Kurama uses his demon form to survive and win. And Yusuke versus Toguro is peak shonen. One of the best villains of all time versus one of the best main characters of all time. This fight is peak, well earned in the top 3 spot. Yusuke uses the death of Genkai and Kuwabara to push himself over the edge and defeat Toguro and awaken his true power. I'm going to do a more in-depth video for Yu Yu Hakusho, so I'm going to talk more there. But overall, everyone grows, everyone becomes strong. They grow as a team. They defeat the strongest dude, the most badass, crazy dude. And it's just beautifully written, man. Like, one of the best. It's not just fighting. It's more storytelling. There's layers in this. One of the best arcs of all time, in my opinion. 10 out of 10. The Dark Tournament arc, Yu Yu Hakusho. Number 2, Chimera Ant arc, Hunter x Hunter. This anime was a fun-loving, colorful anime, bro. Shit went south. Shit turns dark. That's the Chimera Ant arc. The tonal shift into a dark philosophical war about evolution, morality, humanity. You know the story. Gon loses his humanity. Miriam gains his humanity. Perfect parallels, perfect writing. I'm not going to talk about that as much because everyone talks about it, but perfect storytelling, perfect writing, perfect parallels. Gon and Killua join an extermination team to get rid of these species that are called the Chimera Ant. And with the buildup of the Ant King, Miriam is born. Miriam and Komugi's relationship and storyline is emotional and shows a lot of growth. The Ant King learns humility, identity, humanity, and just becomes a better, smarter, I don't want to say person, but monster. I mean, he becomes less of a monster, bro. He becomes more human. Gon becomes revenge-driven because of Kite, R.I.P., and his transformation is one of the darkest in anime history. One of the darkest moments in shonen. And honestly, one of my favorite fights, if you call it that. It's so one-sided. The hero that you all knew growing up, young-ass kid, collapses and becomes something you never think Gon would be. He loses himself. The long arc is beautifully written and caps off with Netero versus Miriam. One of the most anticipated fights. This fight is my favorite personally in this. And I think it's one of the most iconic fights. And then turning to a bomb, crazy. Netero's one of my GOATs. His ability is dope. And he goes nuclear. I just think this arc is one of my favorite arcs. And I can't watch it because I'd be dead ass crying when Miriam and Komugi are together. Like it's so emotional. Even when Gon loses his powers, bro. Killua cries out to him, chasing him, using lightning speed, right? I can't really watch it. It's too beautifully written. Some things are better left untouched, I think. 10 out of 10 arc, maybe even 11 out of 10. I think this is one of the best arcs, if not the best. I personally have one better. Let's get it. Number 1, Pain's Assault, Naruto Shippuden. I think this is the peakest of peaks. You know, you could put any Naruto arc in number 1. And Naruto is just that type of anime. And warning, I haven't watched Bleach yet. I'm watching Gintama, but I'm only 100 episodes in. So if you're asking why there's no Bleach arc, there's no Gintama arcs, I know it's peak, but I'm not there yet. But this is so far my top 10, just a warning. But this is the climax, in my opinion, of Naruto Shippuden, and it shows the scale of the threat of the Akatsuki. Pain being revealed as Nagato, a former student of Jiraiya. The backstory. Pain attacks the village, full scale, and the village is destroyed. Peak. No one in the Leaf Village can handle all this power. Hinata confesses her love for Naruto. Peak. And Naruto's entrance after learning Sage Mode. Peak. And he finally defeats Pain's bodies. He proves he's a different level, and this is, in my opinion, where he shows he's Hokage level. He's a Hokage level threat. Naruto meets Nagato and uses his no-talk jutsu. And this is where Naruto represents hope and understanding, while Nagato represents pain, loss. Nagato is a representation of suffering, but Naruto does not accept revenge as an answer. And Nagato is under the spell of no-talk jutsu and understands, you're right, Naruto. Revenge is not it. Revives everyone. Naruto is recognized as the hero. All this conflict results into the next arc, the Fourth Great Ninja War, which is supposed to be the climax. But, I just think Naruto Shippuden has 2 climax. They got the Akatsuki stuff and then the Ninja War stuff. But I think this is my favorite. Fourth Great Ninja War is up there too. But Pain's Assault gotta be a 12 out of 10 if I gave the Chimera arc an 11 out of 10. My favorite arc of all time in anime history. We'll see if I finish Bleach and Gintama or any other anime, if anything could top it, but Pain's Assault, my favorite arc of all time, 12 out of 10. All right. That's my top anime arcs that I've watched so far, over 70 animes. I try to narrow it down to 10, but I gave you 12. I had to leave a bunch of good arcs out there, but this is my decision, my opinion. Let me know what you guys think. I hope you guys agree. I got plenty of anime left to watch. You know, even with 70 animes watched, I believe there's so many out there. I need to get into it. I need to get busy. If you have a rec, let me know. I'll finish Bleach and Gintama hopefully this year. We'll see. But thanks for supporting the channel. Appreciate you guys heavy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Peace.